Hey everyone, this is Matt. I'm finally back. It's been almost 2 weeks since my last video. Yes, I'm still alive. No, I did not drop off the face of the earth. I did not quit Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as some of you commenters with the 20 IQ would like me to, I've just been busy, right? So life happens. For those of you who don't know, I have a job. Like, I actually work a day job to make money. That's how I buy all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? I need to be able to fuel my addiction. Yeah, my office or my company recently started doing return to site. I've been working from home for like last two and a half years. Now we have to actually go into the office. So now I'm commuting more. So I'm more exhausted. Yeah. So there's that. I've also just been catching up with projects in general. Let's see what else. I went out of town last week to visit my parents. A lot of stuff been going on basically. I just been busy, right? Oh, I went to a regional, a 500 player regional. Uh, I think it was 2 weekends ago, and I did top that. So I did receive. So it was 9 rounds of Swiss. I won six, lost two, tied one. My two losses were legit thrown, like I literally threw the game. Uh, but I still was able to top, and because I topped, I received an invitational to the national championship. I don't know where it's going to be at or when. I heard rumors it might be in Chicago in July. I don't know, right? But I have an invite to nationals, basically. Um, and yeah, like for those of you like idiots on my channel who watch my videos and are skeptical, oh, did you really top? Yeah, and if you want to verify, you can see me at nationals, right? Go meet me at nationals, and if you're not going to nationals, then I guess you'll never get your proof. Yeah, that was my very first regionals I've ever attended. I will say that uh, a 12-hour day full of Yu-Gi-Oh is way too long. They should really split regionals up to 2 days, in my opinion. I've never been to a YCS. Oh, people say, oh, well, YCSs are are longer, more strenuous. At least YCSs are split up to 2 days, right? Yeah, I was on 5 hours of sleep that day, and my foot was hurting because the previous day, like, I had a big part. I was at a party, went out with friends, right? Like, so my foot was hurting. I was on 5 hours of sleep, so that's why my two losses, I like just threw them. I was just monkey braining, wasn't paying attention. Yeah, and I just threw those games. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I got my top, I got my invite, so it's all good. All right. So what do I have here in front of me? So, uh, well, you fellow Dark Magician degenerates will immediately recognize and probably appreciate this Dark Magician girl figurine. Yeah, so in today's video, alright, so what's today's video about? So in today's video, you get watch me play with my Dark Magician Girl waifu. No, I'm kidding. But I will talk about this in a second. Well, it's an appreciation thing. But the main point of this video is I'm finally gonna get around to roasting the top Eldlich deck profiles from YCS Charlotte. Wait, wasn't YCS Charlotte in April? Why are you covering that? Well, because I said I would, right? Yeah, obviously, there's been some YCSs in like Mexico, Colombia. Since then, they have Eldritch profiles. I haven't really, honestly, I'm kind of taking a small hiatus, like break from the game. Right, we're kind of in between ban lists right now. I put out my ban list prediction. Konami still has yet to release their ban list, even though I predicted they would at least announce it by the end of April, and maybe we'd get something like at the start of May. Still hasn't happened. Yeah, so that first prediction of mine is wrong, but I blame Konami's incompetence for that. They should really be putting out the new ban list. I'm kind of sick of this format. Um, anyway, so my birthday was recently, so within the last 2 weeks, and this girl that I'm sort of dating, we're not like official, we're not a thing, we're not official. She got me this for my birthday, and I was very happy because she doesn't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, she knows I do my channel. She knows I play. But she literally knows nothing. She never watched anime. Never followed it as a kid, right? Never got into it herself. And anyway, yeah. So I was very surprised that when I opened her gift, that this is what she got me, right? Um, so yeah, now I'm one of those weebs, like one of those degenerates that has a fucking waifu figurine on my dresser or whatever, that I can look at or like fap to like whenever I want, right? But to be fair, I did not buy this. The girl that I'm sort of dating did, and yeah, I was very happy and impressed by that. The fact that she would actually get me this is a good sign. Like, now, does that mean she's wife material? I don't know. But I don't know if you've heard of the term red flag. But this right here is what we call a green flag. So the fact that she got me this for my birthday, that is a green flag, boys. Find you a woman or a partner, or if there are any women watching this who like Yu-Gi-Oh, find you a partner who would buy you a gift like this for your birthday, right? It's just that's all I have to say. That is the greenest of green flags that I've ever seen. Now, if you buy this, if I went out and bought this for myself, that would be a red flag. And in fact, if I stop seeing this girl and I start seeing another girl in the future, and she came into my room and saw this on my dresser, she would probably say that this is a red flag. But yeah. Anyway, like that's what this is about. But yeah, I don't know I forgot what brand this is, but you can get this at Legends. So for those of you anyone who has access to a mall, like a shopping mall, this little figure can be found at Legends. I saw her at multiple Legends, right? And I'm sure any local game shop that has like not just cards and comics, or board games, but also what's it called, figurines, will likely have one of these because it's the Dark Magician Girl. Like, come on. So yeah, if you want to go pick one up for yourself or tell one of your, or get one for your partner, yeah, Legends comics and games in the shopping mall. Sometimes they're in strip malls, but I think they're most commonly found in shopping malls. The Legends comic and games are also they also hold some locals in my town. So maybe they do for you too. But yeah, this here was a beauty. I was very happy about this, and I really wanted to share this with you, fellow Dark Magician enjoyers slash degenerates like myself. One thing I will say about this figurine, so first of all, for those of you who don't recognize, this is the post. This is the pose that the Dark Magician Girl makes in the Dark Magician Girl Lost Art card. So I run the Lost Art in my main deck because it's the only English TCG Dark Magician Girl that is not censored. Okay, so in that card, she is in this pose, right? So for those of you who never seen it, go look at the card. This is the pose she's in that card. So and yeah, I will be getting inevitably be getting the Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl from Ghost from the Past 2. So I'm waiting for my Ghost from the Past. So I'm waiting for my Ghost from the Past 2 case to come in. As I've mentioned in my previous videos. So my next video is likely going to be my unboxing. So it's already shipped. It should arrive in the next day or two. Maybe Sunday at the latest. So yeah, stay tuned for that video. I'll be doing an unboxing. We'll see what Ghost Rares I pull. Hopefully I pull the Dark Magician Girl. But unlike the Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl in Ghost from the Past 2, this Dark Magician Girl, and obviously the Lost Artwork one, not censored, okay? Censorship is no bueno. Nobody likes censorship. Alright. So yeah. I did not do an unboxing of this video because I opened it like weeks ago when I first received it, right? Like I was not gonna, like obviously I was gonna open it in front of her, not in front of you losers, right? So yeah. Yeah, this is a beauty. Alright. So definitely pick this up. Alright, so let's move on to roasting some Eldlich deck profile. So I found this super obscure Google Docs spreadsheet online that apparently contains the deck profiles for the top 32 players from the YCS in Charlotte. That was in April, right? Now, why is it that I'm looking at a random obscure spreadsheet, probably compiled by a bunch of random nerds, Yu-Gi-Oh nerds on the internet, rather than, I don't know, an official Konami website that has the top 32 deck lists of all the topping players? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Like, Konami, I swear, like, is not good at holding competitive, running competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, I have to go to a random YouTube channel or a random spreadsheet to get this information. But I should be able to go to Konami's website and find this. But I can't, right? How crazy is this? It blows my mind that, I mean, I only got back into Yu-Gi-Oh in 2021, right? But Yu-Gi-Oh competitive has been around for a while, way longer than I've been playing. And yet, we still don't have a website we can go an official Konami website where we can see the actual deck lists of these players. We can see their names and like what deck they're playing, but we can't see the deck list. Crazy. I don't know. I don't know why. So yeah, so I had to hunt this down. Are these legitimate sources? I have no idea, but we're gonna go with yes. And you're just gonna have to take my word for it, because even I don't know, honestly. I hope these are legitimate, right? All right. Um, yeah, another thing that really bothers me about the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is the 40-minute time limit per match is way too short. It's got to be at least 50 minutes. At least 50 minutes. Like the number of game threes I actually see go to a satisfying conclusion are so low. They're basically non-existent. Like we need at least 10 extra minutes. Like, will they make the events longer? Sure, but whatever. Like, stretch it another day. Like, whatever. Make it happen. Just make it happen. Anyway. Alright, so I was going to roast some deck profiles. So who's going to roast? So the second place player was this Jerome dude. He played Trap Eldlich in... He got second place, right, at Charlotte. He did not beat the Adventure Prank Kids. So we'll definitely take a look at his. Let's see if we want to look at anyone else. So third place was Cyber's Eldlich. By the way, Cyber's Eldlich is bad. It's strictly worse than Trap Eldlich. There's a reason that Trap Eldlich is second place and Cyber's Eldlich is third place, right? And yeah, at my locals and my regionals, the Trap Eldliches always beat the Cyber's Eldliches and always topped higher than Cyber's Eldlich. Please stop playing this garbage deck. Cyber's Eldlich is not good. Now, there's a new deck, so YCS Charlotte did not include Branded Despia, so we don't have that. But if you want to play an Eldlich deck that's not pure Trap Eldlich, go play Branded Eldlich. Okay, it's way better than Cyber's Eldlich. It's still worse than pure Eldlich, but at least it's more interesting and it's not like this Garbo Cyber's Eldlich. So let's go down the list. So Flu, Pranks, Destiny, Despia. This dude was ahead of his time. Pranks, Invoked. All right, so the next Eldlich on the list is 14th place. That is a pure Trap Eldlich. Okay. Cool. So that's it. So top 32, there's 3 Eldlich decks. 2 of them are Trap Eldlich, and one is the Degenerate Cyber Eldlich. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna roast both of these decks. Starting with the second place one, right? And then I'll do the 14th place one. Yeah. And that'll probably be enough for this video. And I think one person commented like, "Oh, you don't have the credibility to roast Eldlich because these are YCS toppers. What have you ever topped? Like, well, you should go top of regionals." I did go top of regionals. Thank you very much. But even if I didn't, it wouldn't matter because I have a brain that works and I have eyes. So if I see something that I know is bad or that is suboptimal, I can still point that out. Right? I don't need to win a YCS, right, to prove it. Anyway, all right. So let's go here. All right, here we go. So this is the second place Eldlich profile by Jerome. All right. So right off the bat, I already see some major red flags. Okay. Let's talk about things that he did well. 2 Golden Lord. That is the correct ratio. Some people are playing 3. Those people are wrong. 2 is the correct number. Elixir of White Destiny. What the fuck? Who plays this? Special summon 1 zombie monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you control the Eldlich, you can only special summon Eldlich monsters. Okay, and then so this is like strictly worse than Scarlet Sanguine, right? So the rest of his his Eldlich trap ratios are good. 3 Conch is correct. 3 Sanguine is correct. 2 Huaquera. Oh, he has a Golden Land Forever. Oh, that's another big red flag. All right, so red flag number 1, White Elixir of White Destiny. I don't understand why you would play this ever. You need what? Do you need another way to another searcher like for your Golden Land traps? I don't get. Well, like, what's the point of having a single copy of Elixir? This doesn't even summon from the deck. This summons from the graveyard. Like, I mean, the only advantage or like good thing I see about this card is like, well, maybe if you try to revive Eldlich and then they chain DD Crow or something, like maybe, or maybe they train Ice Dragons and you can quick play this from your hand and then revive. I don't know. Like that's the only application I can think of, right? But yeah, I would say this card is not good. Also, Cursed Eldland, not the biggest red flag. Hold on, let me talk about some of the other red flags. But yeah, Elixir White Destiny is not good. So this dude chose to go to 41 cards, and they have a one copy of Elixir White Destiny. So I don't know. I would just cut this and go to 40. Like I don't understand why you have Elixir of White Destiny. Like yeah, it's not that good. All right. Golden Land Forever. So this card is also not that good. Yeah, it's technically searchable off of your Sanguine. Um, but this card is like a -2, right? You activate this card, you tribute one of your zombie monsters. So, um, ideally you have Eldlich on the field. You tribute either Conch or you tribute Walquero, and then you can Omni negate anything you want. So you're trading 2 cards to Omni negate one of their cards, right? And then when this is in the graveyard, unlike the other Golden Land cards, you cannot search an Elixir off of it, right? You can't banish it to search. So, and what if you don't have uh another zombie? So if you don't have a Conqueror or a Hawkware on their field, you must tribute the Eldlich basically. Um, which I mean, sending your Eldlich to the graveyard is okay since it can revive itself, but then to revive itself, it has to consume another trap. And unlike Huaquero Conquistador, which generates a trap for your Eldlich to consume to revive itself, this is not, right? So yeah, this is a neg card. I don't understand why anyone would purposely choose to run a single copy of this. The only thing I can think of is like maybe on like those Eldlich mirror matchups, this might come in clutch, and even then, like I don't actually feel that way, right? Um, I don't know. I don't really get it. Yeah, this is not a good card. Like, cut this. You're at 41 cards, and you have Golden Land Forever. I would probably cut this over Elixir of White Destiny, because at least Elixir of White Destiny doesn't neg you, right? Because you can banish this from the graveyard and set a Golden Land spell trap. So, yeah, Golden Land Forever is not good. Don't play this card. More red flags. So TCBOO. Oh boy, TCBOO. 3 TCBOO. All right. So TCBOO is of all the floodgates. So I'm gonna name off a few floodgates off the top of my head. Goes and match, skill drain, rivalry of warlords. There can be only one. Of all those floodgates I just listed, this is the worst one, right? So he does have the 3 skill drain, which is correct, right? That's good. He has 2 goes and match and 3 there can be only one. Now, again, YCS Charlotte was in a format where the top deck, or what most people consider the top deck to be adventure prank kids, right? And you're playing there can be only one in a meta, in a format where the best deck is adventure prank kids, right? Mind you, adventure prank kids is a deck that can run this card. I've literally seen prank kids players playing TCBOO, right? Because it literally does nothing to their deck, right? They can play around this so hard, it's not even funny, right? And this dude went into the finals against an Adventure Prank Kids. Granted, he lost, and he did draw TCBOO in that match. Go watch the match replay. He drew TCBOO, which ended up being a useless card, right? Instead of having, I don't know, a third goes in match, Rivalry of Warlords, literally any other floodgate would have been better than this. I don't understand. I really don't understand Eldlich players who play TCBOO. Like, oh, it hits like, like, okay, you'll get a free win against Dragon Link, I guess. But Dragon Link is garbage anyway. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't. And even Goes in Match can sort of hit Dragon Link depending on when you flip Goes in Match. Yeah. I mean, what else are you? I mean, I guess you can stop Drytron from getting their second name, a second body, like machine on the field. Like, I don't know, but it's TCBOO is not good. Like, okay, you'll get a win against like a rogue Earth Machine deck, I guess, but like in a format where the top decks are Prank Kids, even Branded Despia can play around this, by the way. Like, can play around there, can TCBOO, right? So the argument is like, oh, like you sit on your single copy of Eldlich, you flip TCBOO, they can't summon anything, and then you just swing at them for 2,500. All right, so I've actually have tried playing TCBOO in the past, in past formats in Eldlich, like playtesting, right? Where it wasn't where TCBOO was actually good, right? So remember the ban before the ban list where Protoss was banned, the top deck was Sword Soul, right? And then there was Bird Up. That was a format where TCBOO was strongest, right? That's and part of the reason Invoked DPE worked out so well is because Invoked DP can main deck TCBOO and like play around it, right? And it hit all the other top decks. So in that meta, I tried playing TCBOO, and a problem that I found was, okay, if you play TCBOO against a player, they're just gonna set cards in defense position, like every turn, and stall out the game for time. And since you're a trap deck, you don't have the luxury of burning your opponent for life points or gaining life points like combo decks do. A lot of your cards burn your life points, like Skill Drain pays 1,000, Solemn Strike pays 1,500, and if you side in Solemn Judgment, you're paying half your life points, right? So I've seen plenty of games where they just stall out, they set monsters, pass. Set a monster, pass. Your Eldlich attacks a monster, pass. Set a monster, pass. Your Eldlich attacks that monster, pass. Right? Set a monster, pass. Your Eldlich like TCBOO is a stall card, right? If you play TCBOO yourself on Eldlich, like it's a stall card, and you're gonna say, oh well, you can like get rid of TCBOO if by tributing it for cost for Eldlich in the graveyard, right? What if you don't have Eldlich in the graveyard? Then you can't get rid of this TCBOO, right? Like this card shuts off Conquistador, shuts off Aquero, it shuts off your Eldlich engine, right? The cards that you need to actually put monsters on the field, attack your opponent, right? Generate advantage, right? You can't actually play them. Whereas you can play them under Goes and Match and Rivalry, which is why I'll never, like, it blows my mind that Eldlich players still play TCBOO in the main deck, like, especially in a format where the top decks can completely ignore it, right? Like, if you want to hit Sword Soul based, Gozen already does that. So does Rivalry. If you want to hit Prank Kids, Gozen and Rivalry do that, right? TCBOO does absolutely nothing against those decks. It's only good against, like, rogue decks, where their whole deck is, like, the same type, right? Or maybe pure Sword Soul that don't play Hulk or whatever, like, I suppose. But, again, Gozen is enough to take care of Sword Soul. Even Sky Strikers. Some Sky Striker players, they main or side deck TCBOO because they can play around it, right? And like it's better in Sky Striker because they can just sit on a Hayate and attack directly, like over and over, right? For example, so TCBOO, in my opinion, is a big red flag of a card. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'll never understand Eldlich players who like to play this. And honestly, and Matt, think about the finals game, right? This guy drew TCBOO against the Prank Kids player. If this card was anything else, if it was a rivalry, if it was a Gozen, right? He probably would have won. Maybe. Who knows, right? So yeah, big red flag. Any more red flags in the main deck? Anti-Spell Fragrance, I believe, is a red flag. The reason I believe that is because, so Anti-Spell Fragrance is good in combo decks because combo decks, aggro decks, etc. are able to OTK very easily. It's very easy for those decks to OTK, right? So you go first, you set up Anti-Spell Fragrance. By the way, Anti-Spell Fragrance going second is completely useless, right? Like, let's say he loses Dyro, he goes second. These are bricks. These do nothing, right? In fact, like he can literally swap these out for the dimensional barriers in his side deck, and his deck would be better, right? Because D barrier is good going first or second, right? You might say, oh, well, Prank Kids is a link deck, like D barrier does nothing against. D barrier can stop the DPE, right? That's more than what Anti-Spell Fragrance can do going second, right? But Prank Kids uses spells, so like, Anti-Spell Fragrance can stop the Prank Kid spells. Well, if they have like if they're able to get to Anaconda and make DPE, they'll pop Anti-Spell Fragrance, right? So Anti-Spell Fragrance is good in like combo aggro decks because it stalls them from one turn from using any of their spells, and then you OTK them because they can't set up a board or they can't break your board, right? But Eldlich is not an OTK deck unless you can get to your rank 10s, but it's not that consistent to get to your rank 10s, right? So, yeah, I really think that you should be not running Anti-Spell Fragrance in Eldlich. It's not as good as Imperial Order, right? Because Imperial Order stops spells every turn. This stops spells on your opponent's first turn, right? And it's like you're not gonna OTK them, like right. You're not a Sword Soul deck. You're not gonna just swing for game because they could like the turn after they couldn't play their spells, right? So yeah, anti-spell, not very good, honestly, in Eldlich. I think this is also a red flag. All right. What are the red flags? 2 Torrential Tribute. This motherfucker has 3 Ice Dragon's Prison and 2 Torrential Tributes. Dude, Torrential Tribute was one of the best cards in the game, right? Like one of the best trap cards in the game. It's not once per turn. Ice Dragon's Prison is hard once per turn. You understand that? But he chose to go 2 Torrential, 3 Ice Dragons. I'll never understand why. Like, you open 2 Ice Dragons in your hand, opening hand, one of them is a brick. You open 2 Torrentials in your opening hand, they're both useful, right? Like, I don't understand. Why would, like, and plus Torrential can clear a board. Like, Ice Dragon's Prison, imagine you're going, like, Ice Dragon's Prison against, like, Prank Kids. Like, I don't know, like, they have so many different types. They have a rock, a pyro, and an aqua in their graveyard, and then they're sitting on a thunder. Like, what the hell are you gonna remove? Like, Ice Dragons, yes, Ice Dragon's good for removing, getting rid of DPE, and what is it? And getting rid of Celestial. But you really only need 2 of them. And if you want more access to Ice Dragon's Prison, in the case you have to deal with DP, play Trap Trick, right? So Trap Trick is a card that allows you to search normal traps. So you search the normal trap you need for the occasion, for the situation, right? So like, oh, you have to deal with DP, you Trap Trick in an Ice Dragon. You have to deal with like a big board with like 4 or 5 cards, you Trap Trick in a Needle Sealing or a Torrential Tribute, right? Or a D barrier, or like they're about to evenly match you. You Trap Trick in D barrier, flip D barrier. They can't they can't summon a whatever type, right? So yeah, I don't get this. Let's see other red flags. Everything else is fine. 3 Heavenly Prison is okay. Um when I topped the locals at Gamer's Choice in New York City, I did main 3 Lord of Heavenly Prison. It's okay. It just sucks opening 2 in your hand because that's just a big old brick, right? But 3 is okay, especially with the prevalence of DP. You don't want them to pop. You go second. You don't want them to pop your cards. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that Lord of Heavenly Prison in your hand. So this is fine. Yeah, everything else here is fine. But yeah, TCBOO, gigantic red flag. The Ice Dragon's Torrential ratio as well. This random Golden Land Forever Elixir doesn't make sense. Anti-spell, stupid. All right, let's look at the side deck. All right, so let's talk about what he did right. 3 lava, 3 sphere mode, perfect. If you're playing Eldlich and you're not playing these 6 cards in your side deck, you're choosing to not win more games. Just letting you know. Like, we're in a format where almost every deck summons 3 monsters. Like, all right, you might say, oh, now we're in branded Despia format, right? Like, they're not gonna have that, right? Like, so don't side it in, right? But other decks have 3 or more monsters. Like, you're not just because you have a card inside it doesn't mean you're gonna side in every matchup, right? Like, okay, fine, branded Despia doesn't summon 3 monsters, but every other deck does. You still run severe mode, right? D barrier, 3 D barrier is good. So 2 Solemn Judgment, slightly sus. I mean, I guess if you combine that with Anti-Spell, like that's his back row protection with the Heavenly Prison, it's okay. I just think that, like, I would rather have 3 Solemn Judgments than 2 Solemn Judgments and 2 Anti-Spell. That's just me. Anti-Spells can be unfloodgated, right? It can be dealt with back row removal. Judgment, like, just stops anything, right? It's a say no card, right? 2 Ash Blossom in the side deck. Bruh. And 2 Droll. I'll never understand trap control players who play hand traps. Stop doing this. You don't want hand traps. You're a trap deck. Like, what is this Ash gonna stop? Like in all seriousness, you're against a Prank Kids player. Like, they chain block their first Prank Kids name because they have the Adventure Pendant. What are you gonna Ash? You're gonna Ash the Doodle Doos on summon effect, which can also be chain blocked. Like, I don't know, right? Like, 2 Ash, this just seems troll, dude. Like, why would you have 2 Ashes? I don't understand, right? All right, Droll is in my opinion, before Branded Despia, was the best single hand trap in the game, right? Because unlike Nibiru and other hand traps, like, most hand traps in the current format, you need 2 to get anything done, right? Droll was actually a hand trap, especially before Branded Despia, where against most decks, 1 Droll will not completely shut them down, but severely limit their capability of setting up a strong board, right? So yeah, like Droll is okay, but not in an Eldlich deck. Like these should be traps. There should be a Solemn Judgment, and like also this dude has no back row removal. What if he's in an Eldlich Mirror, or he's I don't know. I feel like a heavy Storm Dusters would really be necessary here. Like I don't know. I don't get it. All right, let's go into the extra deck. So 3 instances is correct. I'm gonna skip this Mechaba for a second. Omega is great. You have the rank 10s. Link Spider is great. Cyber Dragon Nova. Okay, so Cyber Dragon Nova and Mechaba are for matchups against Invoked, where they use Maximus. You send a Nova. You receive you summon Mechaba, and now you have a monster negate on your field. Like that. Like that's okay. I just feel like there's better uses of your extra deck slots, especially since you only have one, right? You pot of Extravagance, you'll probably lose one of these. So what I don't get is why don't you have access code, bro? Like there's definitely ways for you to make access code. Oh, but he's not playing Line of the Light Charmer, so yeah, access code is very good. It's a very great card. I like people say, oh, but Eldlich is not a combo. You don't really summon. I've won so many games summoning access code with Eldlich. Like it is worth it. You should definitely be playing access code. So I do like that he has the double XCs, right? Because that way, if he extravs, he probably still has one copy. That's fine. I would actually go second Link Spider or I'm Duck, right, in place of Nightmare Phoenix. Problem with Nightmare Phoenix is you can't summon it under Gozen. You're trading a 1-for-1, right? You're discarding a card to pop one of their cards, like, not that good. If you're a control deck, you don't want to be discarding cards, right? Combo decks, aggro decks, they love to discard cards, because a lot of their cards have graveyard effects. Control decks, for the most part, you don't want to discard cards. Don't do it. So yeah, this card should be a second Link Spider or an I'm Duck, especially with Extrav, he's probably going to lose his Link Spider here. So he does not run Wind Pegasus, which is fine. Yeah, Zeus is fine. So his extra deck is mostly fine. I just have a problem with the Phoenix and the Mechaba Nova package. Like, the fact that he's not playing Lina the Light Charmer, dude, like, I don't know. I think Lina is still a good card. There's plenty of light monsters you can revive. Even Effect Veiler, right? Like, just help you link climb, right? You can revive Mechaba, you can revive Chixiao. There's a lot of light monsters you can revive and link climb into access code. So, anyway, yeah. So, honestly, I think if his deck profile was better, like if he made the changes that I suggested, or like if I think he could have won YCS, right? Because again, TCBOO does nothing against Prank Kids. In a format where Prank Kids is the best deck, 3 of your floodgates do absolutely nothing, right? These should be a 3rd Gozen and 2 Rivalry. Like, there's no reason for you to have TCBOO. Yeah, it's a little sad that this other Eldlich players don't see the power of Trap Trick or Witch's Strike. Some Eldlich decks are starting to, and that's good. But yeah. So let's see. I would probably rate this deck list 6.5 out of 10 if I had to rate it. There's some glaring holes. It does a lot of things right, but it does a lot of things like totally wrong. Where it's just like, bro, what were you thinking, right? Anyway, so let's take a look at the other deck profile. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. I don't even know what this is. Like, I'm just at quick glance. This is not that good of a list. So same problems as the last list, which I'll talk about. Golden Land Forever, not good. Elixir, super questionable, like both of these, right? 3 TCBOO in the main against Prank Kid meta, bro. No, don't do it. At least he has 3 Gozen, so good job on having the 3 Gozen. 3 Golden Lord and 0 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. So this dude went into a format with DP running around with 0 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Can you believe that? I can't. That's crazy. I'll never understand why. Like I think 2 Golden Lords obviously the best ratio. Like you know, some people start making the armor 3 out because DD Crow, Ice Dragons, or whatever. Like, they very rarely do both your Golden Lords get banished. I've played enough, trust me. It happens once in a blue moon. Okay, 2 Aqueros, good. No Dogmatica Punishment, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, like, but, bruh, oh, so 2 Prosperities. So for those who don't know, Prosperities and Extravagance, they conflict with each other. So if you draw both of these cards, you can only play one, right? This is why I play Pot of Duality with Pot of Extravagance. If I draw an Extravagance and Duality, I can play both. If I draw an Extravagance and Prosperity, I can only play one, right? And like this having like 5 of these pots that will burn through your extra deck means that only like maybe 2 of them will ever be live, right? Like, so of these 5 cards, 2 will ever be live. So I don't agree with this. If you want to do Prosperity, take out the Extravs, right? If you want more draw power or more deck searching, Dualities, bro. You want Pot of Duality. It's better. Like, yeah, Pot of Duality locks you out of special summoning, but guess what? You're not special summoning Eldlich on your turn anyway, especially if you're going first. Like, you're setting some cards and you're passing, right? So yeah, these should be Dualities. Solemn Judgment in the main deck is fine. Y'all already know I prefer them in the side deck. Other than yeah, but other than that, like, I don't know. I prefer the other dude's deck. Simply because like this dude has more of these bad like Elixir cards, like Eldritch cards. He has the same problem with the Floodgates. But he also has like wrong Eldritch ratio, Golden Lord ratio, no Heavenly Lord ratio, or Lord of Heavenly Prison. I don't know. Yeah, I can see why this dude got ranked, you know, finished lower than the other dude. Side deck. All right, so he has 3 lava, 2 sphere mode. I don't know why you wouldn't just play the 3rd sphere mode. Like, it's just better. The 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. So this dude's solution to back row decks. Let's say he's, you know, he just he has 3 evenly matched. Okay, fine. I'm not a fan of Harpies or evenly matched in for as back row removal. Like, I think Heavy Storm Duster is more appropriate for a control deck. I mean, it's fine. I just think, like, I don't know. I prefer Anti-Spell. I already talked about how that's so he purposely doesn't play a 3rd sphere mode, which is okay, but instead he plays like Anti-Spell. It's like, okay, I don't know. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Now this is a spicy tech. So I'm currently running Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. You know, because we're in a Brandon Despia matchup. Well, yeah, the best deck is a deck that plays Dark Monsters. If you go back to YCS Charlotte, the best deck was a Prank Kids deck, and then, like, you know, there's also Base running around, and I don't see Shadow Imprisoning Mirror doing much other than stopping DPE. That's it. Like, that's all this does is stop DPE, and there are other ways to stop DPE, but like, yeah, this Floodgate I don't think does anything. Like, did anything in that previous format. Now this is a mandatory, in my opinion, 2 of at the least in the side deck. So yeah, this dude was a little ahead of his time, so I'll have to deduct some points for that. And let's see the extra deck. So we have, alright, rank 5 is good. Oh, the rank 10 is good. Why does he only have 1 Lieb, right? Like, isn't Lieb, like, he has 2 Zeus? I guess because you know, in case Extravagance gets rid of it, he wants access to Zeus. But like, honestly, I've played Eldlich a lot, and very rarely do we actually make Zeus. So if we go into a rank 10 place, we're OTKing. There's not going to be a need for a Zeus, right? So if you're going into one of these rank 10s, like Gustav, Max, and Alib, that's an OTK. There is no Zeus that results from that board. If you're going the Constellar Pallades route, I guess you can Zeus. The problem with that is that you kind of want to use Constellar Pallades' ability, right? His effect is really good. A quick effect, detach a material to bounce a card. Like, that's very good. Like, if you go into Zeus, that means, like, yeah, I know I play Zeus. I play Zeus as one of those, like, I don't know, emergency situations. I honestly would be totally okay with cutting Zeus entirely, because there's better extra cards, like Access Code is better, right? Because the problem is you're setting cards on your field, and then you make Zeus, and then you send your set cards to the graveyard. I don't know. I don't think Zeus is that necessary. So the fact that he goes 2 is very interesting, but he only goes 1 Lieb. That's surprising. Alright, what's this? Utopic Dark Infinity. When a monster is destroyed by battle and send to graveyard. You can detach one to and target and special summon to your field in defense position. Okay. You can target one other face up special summon control, gain life points equal to its original attack. So that's an interesting tech. The only situation where I would see this be useful, I mean, obviously this is a 4K beater, right? So it's, you can always just make this to swing for 4K. But the fact that it can heal life points is interesting, right? Because Eldlich has a notorious problem of games being like going to time because it's a slower deck, and it usually loses because of Solemn Strike, Solemn Judgment, Skill Drain, etc. So having a card, or accessible card that can heal your life points, it's pretty nice, honestly. This is respectable. I like this. I'll keep this in mind for the future if I keep having problems, issues going with the time. So yeah, I'll probably pick this one up for just to have in my collection. Very interesting tech. I like this. All right, and then Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis. What does this do? This card's effects only applied while it has. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. At the end of battle, if this card attacked, target one card and destroy it. That target, or if it was attacked during the end phase, the scar detach your material. It's all right. It's pretty good. It's an alternative to Constellar Pleiades. Okay. 2 Link Spiders, correct. Lion is correct. Vampire Sucker, huh? If you would tribute summon below, if a zombie monster special summon from either graveyard, draw a card. Not bad. This is actually pretty good because usually it's nice to have a link too. You get your Eldlich and your Golden Land to the graveyard, and then you revive Eldlich, and then you can draw a card, right? So, not bad. Wait. So, you can only use. You can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your defense, but it becomes a zombie monster. Oh. So this has 2 effects. Okay, so this is another Link Climber. Ah, that's very interesting. Yeah, Vampire Sucker. I like this. Honestly, I would I give this dude a thumbs up for running this. Not bad. So yeah, definitely gonna pick up a Vampire Sucker to play around with. But yeah, Link Spider's good. I would run a single copy of Imduck. I don't know. Imduck has that nice little effect where you can, pop a card, but it's okay. Double Link Spider is bueno. So yeah. So this list definitely worse than the last one. I gave the last one a 6.5. Maybe even a 7. Let's be generous. I'll give the last list a 7. And this list is a 6. 5.5 or a 6. Yeah. It's definitely worse than the other list, but it does have some interesting spicy text. It has a Sucker, it has Lina, which the other list is not. Double Link Spider's good. More rank XCs. And this guy here, which allows you to heal life points. That's pretty nice, honestly. Not gonna lie. But it does have its own issues that the other deck does not have. So, anyway. Yeah. So that's my roast. Yeah, I'm still playtesting and deck building a lot. We're in the new format. We have Branded Despia. We have a ban list coming out. So I'll be playtesting and trying out profiles a lot. So yeah, that goes for both Eldlich and Dark Magician. I definitely want to. There's a lot I want to try out, right? Obviously I'm taking like a small break because dude, that regionals 12 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh is just brutal, right? Like that's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh since then. And I'm thinking I might not until the ban list, honestly. Yeah, so just taking a little break, catching up on some other things in life. But yeah, I'm still gonna make videos. Can't wait for my case of Ghost from the Past 2 to come. I hope I pulled the Ghost Rares I want. If not, I'll be buying the singles of the Ghost Rares anyway, and then I'll be also doing another video unboxing those. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all learned something, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.